Hey friend, this is Eric from Miller Music, and I thought we'd do something a little bit different today. We're getting ready to record some drums on a song I just finished up, and I thought I would show you our process, how we do it. I got my friend over here, Alex. He's going to be playing drums, so let's jump inside and see what happens. Okay, just to explain the setup, we have 6 different microphones on the drum set. We have one on the kick, one on the snare drum, 2 overheads on opposite sides, plus a mic on the toms, and then another individual mic over there on the floor tom. Hey, real quick before we get started, I wanted to let you know of a brand new space called the Miller Music Club. This place is for songwriters, producers, and guitar players to learn, collaborate, and share their music together. There's a ton of resources inside the Miller Music Club, and we also do monthly live calls. So to learn more, just click the link in the description below. All right, back to the drum session. All right, guys, so I wanted to give you a quick overview of how we set the drum tracks up and what effects we used. So the first thing is we set the panning and the levels. So we have the overheads panned hard left and hard right, and then the toms panned slightly to the right and slightly to the left. The other thing is we set the levels, so we brought down some of the toms. Overheads were a little loud, as well as the snare drum, but we left the kick at 0 decibels. We also had some problems with the kick drum, so I'll explain that in a minute. But as far as effects goes, you'll see that there's really no effects minus the kick drum on any of the channels except for this bus track. So we made a bus track for all of that, routed all of the drums to the bus track. Okay, in a Studio One, that's really easy to do. You just highlight all of the tracks like this, and then you right click on it and say add bus for selected channels, and it will automatically route all of those channels to the bus that you have it set to. Okay, so the first thing in this bus we have is the fat channel, and I'm going to let you listen to this. Okay, the second thing we have is the Pro EQ, and then the third thing is the reverb. So let's just give it a listen with and without effects. So here is completely dry. Now we're going to add in just the fat channel so you can hear what each individual effect sounds like. So for the fat channel, I have the compressor. I like this vintage compressor they have, and then a little bit of EQ. For the compressor, I mainly use it for. Sorry, this is the vintage EQ. The compressor is more of their stock compressor, and I have it set to 5 dB of gain. The threshold is set to -22, and the ratio is 2:1. Okay, and that's a little bit just for coloration. I just like the way this sounds, but obviously the gain is being boosted by 5 decibels. If I go over to the Pro EQ and I add that in, I really like the graphic EQ because you can see exactly what's going on and kind of like take out what's unnecessary or what you don't like. So I rolled off a little bit of the low end, and then here there was a little bit of a ringing at the high mids around 4K. So I just brought that down a little bit. And lastly, here we have the room reverb. So let's listen to it. This is without. And that's with it back in. So that's just a flat plate inside of Studio One. Okay, so then the last thing was we had a bit of a problem with the kick drum, and that was really a miking issue. I should have fixed this when we initially were doing some sound testing, but what happened was the beater was a bit close to the, or the microphone was a little bit too close to the beater, and I got too much of the snare drum sound and not enough of bass sound. So let's just listen to this without EQ, and you'll hear what I'm talking about. So you hear all of that snare drum sound. So let's listen to it with EQ now, what we did. And this is really what we had to do. We had to roll off a lot of that high end and then actually boost around 50 hertz to get more of that bass sound. And then additionally, we put in the fat channel as well, just to kind of match that coloration that we had for the rest of the drums. All right, we just finished up. I think it turned out really good. I'm really excited about it. I want to thank Alex for playing on it. And let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.